Pokemon Philosopher, Chapter 2, Part 3, Shipwrecked. I've actually been looking forward to this one because, well, there's Team Aqua Grunt on the cover. Yeah, spoilers, sorry about that. But
now that detour is
again,
out
Gen
the
3
way, let's get back
fanboy,
on the
so
main road, shall we? Route 4 will start taking us closer to the
evil
coastal line as we make our way to
region.
Neighborshore, the next stop on our travels. Now that we have 3 gym
What's
badges,
suddenly
Pokemon
happened
we
has been
encounter here
Gen
will
2
start
with Team
getting
Rocket,
stronger.
and I
One
guess
of
you want to
which
get
being
technicalities, Ultra
this
Moon.
little fella, Turnip,
With that extra
the turnip
bonus thing.
Pokemon. It takes a note out of Applin's book, hiding inside a turnip instead of an apple.
Here's a Pokemon we haven't gotten yet. Turkey.
Large tendrils on its
Probably the
forehead
fan series,
to absorb
but
sunlight.
Turnip's kind of
However,
cool,
because of
I guess.
this, they are often mistaken for actual turnip in the ground, leaving to many people to pull them out by mistake.
Oh.
Poor things. On a lighter note, we can also find this
We get an
fella,
Easter Bunny, though.
Stuffier. It's the nurture Pokemon, and it's the evolved form of Hapu, uniquely evolving only when there's an egg in your party.
Huh.
Normally
Neat.
an incredibly friendly Pokemon, taking care of eggs and younger
Normally?
Pokemon, using their large ears to shield them from harm or keep them warm. It can also use those ears to fly, similar to Cream the Rabbit.
Nice.
However, they prefer to stay on the ground, which is why they're not flying type. But they can learn a few flying moves, like Air Slash. The last unfamiliar face we can find around these parts is a Pokemon that isn't from this region. It's this big fella.
Oh, hey, it's back!
These Gallant Pokemon aren't even from the Kyoto region, where you can learn more about them. Similar to Rinrin, they're from another region where they became extinct there, but still flourish around these parts. Feel free to try and capture one, however they are pretty tough, so word of caution. Other than these guys, the other newbies you can find around these parts are these handsome devils.
Again, been a while.
And here are all the returnees that you can find as well.
Wild.
Though there aren't that many grass or electric type Pokemon, I would recommend searching out for a few more of those, assuming you don't have any already. Trust me, I have a feeling you're going to need them.
Never sure. Alright. Some cool new mons. Probably wouldn't add them to the team, but I kind of want to have that horse one at some point.
Beautiful town of Neighborshore. This dazzling-looking city is only touched by the river that splits it in half. But that only adds to the place's charm. The river leads to the ocean, making this place the coastal town of the region. As it widens on the left side, you'll be able to visit the docks, where yachts and cargo boats from other regions will rest up and unload. You'll be able to talk to some of the folks around there and even visit the Maritime Museum. Since we've got some time to kill, let's take a short break from the gym challenges and do just that, shall we?
Alright. Nothing wrong with little R&R, getting away from it all. Maritime Museum. Plus the game usually kind of railroads you every once in a while and just be like,
hi,
I'm sorry, but there's people lying down the road here. People dancing in the street. You have to go this way.
I'm a big fan. I wanted to get their autograph.
Okay,
you haven't seen them, have you? Can't say I have. Though, a little Pidgey did tell me they were
good to see you again, Elizabeth.
What? Really? I missed them? Oh, that's a shame. Thank you. I better get going now. Sorry for interrupting you.
What brings you here?
Oh, that never gets old.
Sup, champion?
Ah, player. Fancy meeting you here, sport. How you doing? Ooh, 3 gym badges already, I see. Knew you'd do all right.
I'm coming for your crown.
Natural.
What are you doing here?
Just minding my own business, doing my own thing.
Yeah,
you know me,
nothing wrong with getting away from it all.
Free time. To be honest, being a trainer was a lot more fun when I was just taking on the Pokemon League and gathering badges.
I'd imagine
Ever
so.
since I became champion, the battles were the only fun part about them. Now everyone's
sometimes it's the journey, not the destination.
Look like a fancy fashion model, and ugh, I have no.
Now she's dealing with the post-game problems, and there's no post-game.
You think you can do me a favor while you're here? I got a new Alcamon from Mr. Nicholas, and
Gen 9
I was wondering if you could help me test it out.
Of course, but I'm not sure I'll stand much of a chance. Hey, we get to fight the champion in a test run.
This guy's still fairly new. And even then, this ain't an official battle, so I'll go easy on you.
Yeah, alright.
Okay, let's see what you're made of, player.
Considered that I beat the champion. But it's a 1-6, essentially.
Alright, little champ, your time to shine. Go, Dreepitar!
Dreepitar?
Introducing Project Devastator.
Oh boy, it's Dreepy and Larvitar. Oh boy.
And I quote, to combine Larvitar's defensive power with Dreepy's speed.
Yeah,
however,
that's dangerous.
Dreepy isn't known for being a very defensive Pokemon.
No,
heck,
it isn't.
A child could knock it out. Because of this, its armor is nowhere near as tough as Larvitar's, and it's
That's
nowhere
why
near as
Larvitar's
fast as
there.
Dreepy. In fact, if this Pokemon is knocked over, it can't get back up on its own.
It turtles.
Considering that, and this Pokemon isn't very strong anyway, you should have no trouble taking this Alcemon out.
Theoretically, anyway. It's like they were put together to try to counter each other's problems, but it made it more apparent how weak it is.
Done,
the
sport.
weaknesses.
You've come a long way in such a short time.
Essentially,
and
the
you'll
problems.
ace that contest Nicholas set up for you. I only wish I could say the same about Dreepitar, though. I'll be honest with you, I wasn't expecting this to be the great surprise that Nicholas had in store for us.
Oh, wait till it fully evolves.
He said that he designed this one specifically for me. But it's
I
gonna
want a
take more than
refund.
using my favorite Pokemon to convince me that this is a good idea.
It is a good start,
These
though,
guys
I
were
won't
designed
lie.
specifically for battle, and to be honest, I'm not impressed. There, oh well, like I said, he still needs a bit more training. And besides, he's not taking up a slot or anything.
That's good. What do you mean? Yeah, what do you mean? To take up a slot?
You didn't know? Nicholas added a Pokemon League rule where Alcemon can use up another slot in your party. It's basically a 7th Pokemon, so you don't have to worry about it taking up space. Why do you think you're only allowed one? Hey look!
Oh,
is that the champion?
Oh,
Nah,
good
don't
grief.
be ridiculous. The champion wouldn't look so scruffy. Whoops, looks like the gig's fading. Sorry, player, I better
Ironically
get going.
blending
If
in
you haven't
is
already, why don't you
just
try
by being-
challenging the
just
gym
by
leader
not
around
being
these
what people
parts?
think you are.
You're located in a place
Playing
called
against
the Wreck.
stereotypes.
It's somewhere near the beach, you can't miss it. You can also find a lot of water-type Pokemon around those parts. So, if you want to capture one, here's something that can help.
10 net balls. Thank you. That's just gonna give us a fishing rod. Alright, let's see what kind of Pokemon we get. Magikarp's a shoo-in. That's just an obvious one. That's an easy one. Maybe a Timpole or something. I don't know.
Well, since the Wreck is the nearest gym around
Oh, wait,
these
we've
parts,
been here
we're gonna
before
take
already
one
in
back
chapter
with a
3.
shovel on our back to the shores of Nevershore Bay.
I
An
can see what
incredibly
else is
long
here.
beach area with plenty of water-type Pokemon washed up on the shore, or ones that can barely be seen out at sea. Nevershore Bay is also not too far from another one of the region's biomes. More on that in another video or two.
Yeah, when we get
In
surf.
the meantime, we can get a good idea about that wild area
You
by
might have it
encountering one of the
displayed
more
on the
common
Alcemon
water-type
arc.
Pokemon in this region. That
Ooh,
being Gripunk, the
Gripunk.
Terrafin Pokemon. It may be a fish, but it's no Bruxish, or even Finian. It's incredibly tough and territorial. Most
Oh, there's a
Pokemon
rivalry
that
with
aren't
Basculin.
intelligent enough to be its dinner know to leave it alone. Especially since its bite can chew through solid metal. Definitely worth a spot on your team if you're interested, especially if you have the patience to evolve it. There are other new
Yeah, I
Pokemon
wanna
you
see
can
that
find
thing
around
evolve.
these parts, but for the time being, there is one I would like to show off. That being the returning Proppin.
Hey!
Wait a minute.
What?
You see this? You see this? This is a prime example of what we call trash.
What?
Yeah, let's change that.
We're doing a makeover. Oh, hey, it
There
looks
we
much
go.
better. Good work.
Much better, don't you think? Proppin is the Puffin Pokemon, and yes, do look pretty adorable. However, they're pretty antisocial due to a lot of people
I
finding
really like
them
this updated design.
so they can
Good
be a
work,
bit of a rare
Esco.
find around these
Redrawing
parts, but if
them
you
all
do
that.
find one, it can make a very useful Pokemon, especially since it has a split evolution, becoming either the high-speed bobsleigh Pokemon Penvolsky, or the wise and patient Guru Bird Pokemon
These got redrawn
Penguru.
too.
If you
If
want
they
to
were
learn
in the
more
original.
about these
It's
guys,
been
you're
a
going to
while.
have to, again, watch Pokemon Science and Magic.
Yeah, they were
Sorry
there.
about the shameless plugs, but this is a sequel series.
It's your
so take
show.
that for
Plug
what
as much
will.
as you want.
Other than these guys, here are the newbies you can find, and here are the oldies.
Yeah, Blue
These
of
parts
course.
are also where
I
you can
also
find
don't recognize the
Squirtle,
bird next
so
to
there's
Magikarp,
another
so
addition
go
to
try
your
out the Gen
Generation
9
1
move on.
starter collection.
Oh, hey,
But
nice.
once you're done looking around the area and stomping
Oh,
on
Tyro,
trainers'
too, that's
sandcastles, You can finally
Hey,
get back
Vinny,
on
like
track
mentioned.
and make your way towards the wreck.
Wreck. Oh boy. We still don't think about the abandoned ship in Gen 3. Ooh, nice.
Now, this former submarine, which was decommissioned, gutted, and turned into a gym, is no joke. Its puzzle is a 2D maze, which you'll have to traverse through in order to get to the gym leader. Make sure to be careful, since some rooms will lead to either a dead end, which will take you to a previous level,
Or a Pokemon
or
battle.
a battle-hungry trainer. So tread with caution.
I would intentionally
Too
go
long
to
to
the
get to
many
the guy
trainers
in
as possible
charge,
because I like
who
grinding.
appears to be occupied by someone else. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
boy.
madam. You're suggesting I do what? Don't misunderstand what I'm trying to say, kiddo. I'm not saying you just give up just like that, but if you're not comfortable with this sort of thing, then try to find something else that you're more comfortable with. No one's forcing you to do this. I appreciate it, but it's not that simple. It's not that I'm being forced to, it's... I promised someone. Kid, let me share you a little secret. Back in the day, my folks used to be a part of a gang called
Ooh,
Team
they are
Aqua.
Team Aqua.
You heard of them? Well, in case you aren't, let's just say their leader used to be a pretty big scumbag. They promised to do whatever he said, and let's just say things didn't turn out that well. So, they left, started traveling the world, ended up here. The rest is history. My point being, a promise may be a promise, but is it really worth it if it's gonna be a strain on you? I thought you wouldn't understand. I'm sorry, I have to go and visit someone. Sorry if it was too easy. I promise I'll come back stronger next time.
Apparently it's just
Oh,
not in
player.
this Pokemon battle thing.
Well, sorry I beat you to it, but
He has
don't
to.
worry. I couldn't do much to Abiona here anyway.
I don't know.
So you don't have to wait for her to heal up or anything. Besides,
I think
you'll be a lot more of a challenge to
Just
her
the
than me.
hair throws
See
me
you
for a
around.
loop.
Looks like I hit a
Ooh, I
nerve
talked to
there.
you in my old hair.
Poor kid. Anyway, you heard him. Abiona's the name. Gym leading is my game. Although I am pretty new of it, if you couldn't tell. Just took over the place from my pops. It ain't easy, but neither is the ocean, buddy. But just because I washed up shore recently, doesn't mean for a second that I'm gonna be a pushover.
Got a youngster.
Hanging on by a thread is my middle
Can't
name.
believe it.
So if you think
Youngster
this will be
gym
easy
leader,
just
sort of like
because my
Flannery in a
folks
way.
were low-level grunts, you can think again.
Huh.
Let's crash!
Nice to see this kind of a secret of what happened with the grunts, because we never really see what happens with them. Not that it really
Hope you
matters,
didn't
because
plan
they're
on
grunts,
starting with
but
a
you know.
grass type.
It's an extra
You're about
bonus.
to regret that
That's
right
cool.
about now. Go, SQ!
Oh, that thing. Gen 8, I remember it. Ice
Again,
type.
I have been wrong before. Ah, well. That was just to soften you up. Here come the real
Fair
terrors
enough.
of the deep. Go, Sharkpedo!
Oh boy, now we're getting serious. The Team Aqua staple.
Whew, not bad. That was my pop's old ace. So,
Ooh.
pretty impressive that
Yeah,
you
from
were
a
able to
Carvana,
beat
too.
him. However, you're about to throw down with some of my personal touches. Let's go, Kilowattrol!
Okay, Gen 9, alright.
No matter how many surprises I throw at you, you just keep going. It's like trying to stop
Interesting
a
throwing
ship
a
coming
seagull
aground.
there, too.
Well,
Electric
this
type.
next one ought to give
Throw 'em
you
off
trouble.
guard.
Because it's the boss. My boss. My Bossio!
Oh boy.
Get it, amore? Get it, amore il?
Oh, it's
Some
an eel,
Johnny
alright.
reference.
I'm a Bossiel. These big fellas are the apex Pokemon, and they are the evolved form of Grippunk. I told
Good
you it'd be worth
grief.
it keeping those around. Though they'll only
How
evolve into
big
Mabossiel
they
when they are
get.
paralyzed while leveling up. How this works exactly is still up to debate. But
I don't
rivals
know
to
and don't
Gyarados
feel like
are
explaining
the
it.
top predators around these parts.
I'd
often working
frickin'
with their
say.
re-evolution to lure in prey. They're so big they can eat pretty much anything in a single bite. That unfortunately includes other Grippunk that can't get out of the way in time. Due to their monstrous proportions, these Pokemon during olden times were often mistaken for sea monsters.
I mean, it's not wrong, though. I mean, would you look at that
Not
and
even Mabossiel
think
could
sea
stop you?
monster?
You don't play
Actually,
around, do
all
you?
Pokemon are
Alright,
monsters,
matey,
and it's
only
in
the
the sea,
Alchemons
so
left
it's
now.
accurate.
Let's
in a way.
go! Vikawitzer!
Okay, this is a Vikavolt and a
Meet
something.
Project Blaster, Vikawitzer. The goal behind this project was to further enhance Clawitzer's insanely
okay.
powerful claw with the electric properties of Vikavolt. Though successful, since this Pokemon can fire electric blasts powerful enough to sink ships,
which is cool.
That's not to say it's without problem.
Naturally.
Because of the Vikavolt DNA, the Pokemon can't breathe underwater anymore.
Oh
and
god,
with
no.
Wings, it's incredibly
That's code, I hate
powerful
you.
land.
I hate you.
But still
really?
a
Even
very
the Pokédex
viable
isn't
Pokemon
safe?
if you would care to have one on your team. Especially compared to its out-of-date components.
What
I
is
assure
it?
you, despite its teething troubles, this Pokemon has proven to be incredibly viable by our sponsors. Just remember, in order to get one for yourself, you must evolve it from Clauncherbug at level 26.
That's kind of cute.
It may have trouble moving about, but its claw is incredibly sharp and powerful. Granted, it can no
Supposed to be
longer
wearing a
breathe
helmet?
underwater, let alone swim, but it's a small price to pay.
No, mobility is not a small price to pay. Just
And
ask
that's
people who are
me
paralyzed from
shipwrecked.
the waist down.
Nicely done, player. You got skills. I thought I had you on the ropes there when I sent out Vikawitzer. I'll admit
probably
that
did.
Alcamon was hard to handle at first, but I've really gotten used to the fella. But you've clearly bested him just as you've bested me, and I guess you deserve this. The Maritime Badge.
Nice design. You got the little Aqua logo. Show at least to freaking Brendan or May of Gen 3.
Say, now that battle's
You're
over
in
and
Team
done
Aqua!
with, do you think you can do me a favor? You clearly knew that previous trainer I battled, right?
Charlie, yeah. Yes.
Well, if they're a friend of yours, I think I'd recommend checking up on them. I think I saw them heading north during our battle. I have a keen eye for little details like that while multitasking. It runs in the family. Anyway, I'd recommend checking up on them, if I were you. They don't seem to be in the right mood. And assuming you know them better than I do, then you're better off talking to them instead of me. I just hope that young fella's doing alright. Anyway, here's a bonus reward.
Bonus roll. Oh, oh, we get surf
If you ever
legitimately.
visit my old
By the way, a
folks' home
Pokemon
in
that does
Hoenn,
actual
you're probably gonna
surf
need
and
it,
it's just
'cause,
the TM.
let's just say, too much water. Anyway, I'll leave you to it,
Thanks,
kiddo.
IGN.
Happy travels.
Although at least it led to a meme, so I'm not totally pissed, but still.
Whew! Halfway done already.
Mm.
We're on a roll with these gym badges.
Right?
However, keep in mind the only reason why we're getting them so fast is because this arc is dedicated to them. The
True.
other storylines, which we'll get to at a later date, would determine how quickly you get these things.
Yeah.
Who knows, maybe when this series is fully complete and you're watching this for the first time, you'll be going through all 3 of the arcs in any order you like.
That'd be
But
something.
even so, Charlie did seem a little conflicted. So, let's take a
That'd
break
be
from
actually
gym
kind of
battling
cool,
for the time
going in
being
like
and see
random
what's up
orders.
with
You
them.
just start in like chapter
Next
2,
time,
then you go to
as
chapter
our journey
4,
through
part
Revelou
3, or something, then go
continues.
back to chapter 2, part 6. I don't know. Just picking random numbers, but that'd be such a mix and match. It'd be fun though. But yeah, nice, cool battle. We get to battle the champion and take her down. We are now the champion. If only it was that freaking simple. Could you imagine? You know, they never do it, and I totally understand why, but imagine for like an April Fool's Day or something like that. They just released like, here you could you go through the entire game, beat all the gym leaders, get to the Elite Four, face the champion, and then they send out their level 1 Magikarp. And that's their team. I never want them to do that, but a part of me really wants them to do that, you know? Just take the piss. And then the reveal is like a joke or something, and then they check out their actual team or whatever. But just, you know, imagine. But, yeah. Yeah, seriously, we're gonna be afraid of that thing when it reaches its true evolve form, but I don't know if it's gonna get bigger than the Moray Eel motherfunker. That thing was freaking horrifying with it. It's just like, okay, here's what I thought. Since it's usually the cliche usually it's the Magikarp that looks small and helpless, and then it becomes a freaking giant like Gyarados, or I guess with Feebas where it's small and ugly, so you think so it turns into something beautiful. I thought we were gonna go like this, like okay, it starts horrible and hideous, so it's gonna turn into something cute and adorable, like, I don't know, Gorobus, for example. And then it just turns into this giant moray Godzilla motherfucker. It's like, okay, no, I was wrong. I was dead wrong. No. It turns into a sea monster. I was so wrong. Okay. But good follow-up on showing the Team Aqua member thing. You don't see a lot what happens with the grunts after their whole team's disposed and all that jazz, so it's not just a follow-up to that. Mind you, according to Pokemon logic, all of these things are happening at the exact same time, which gets no, they fucking aren't, and we all know they aren't. We're not that dumb. But, so I don't know how they had kids and all that jazz that's going on right now, unless they were ex-Team Aqua members, but, yeah, it's just funny to think. Just, I don't know. It's just funny. At least to me, anyway. But yeah, cool new Pokemon, and we got to see some returning Pokemon, which is always cool as well. And a redesign for an oldie, so that was good to see. Nice to see some oldies get updated. But I don't think the horse really needed one, so it was fine the way it was, so it doesn't need one. Again, you're updating the ones that need the most, and the Penguin, probably. So good work, Esco, and I'm looking forward to more to come. Cool gym battles, cool new Pokemon, and I'm interested in what's happening with Charlie. It's interesting as to why they're doing it. They're doing it because they feel they have to because of their ancestors, but they're being burdened with great expectations or holding up to something that someone else did. I feel bad for them, but I can kind of relate to where they're coming from. You just because you feel you have to, not because you genuinely want to. Such is life, I guess, but hopefully they'll get over it, and maybe they'll get to do something that they actually do care about. Who knows what that is? Maybe who knows? Maybe they won't even be Pokemon related. They just become a chef or something. I don't know. But best of luck to them either way. So yeah, good work, Esco tonight, and cool new Alcamon and all that jazz. So good work, great stuff. Later.